Hey, what's up guys, Aarava here, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode. This is episode number 86 today for this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix in Season 5. This is the penultimate episode of this season. The finale soon comes, but we have got a very close fight going into these last two rounds, especially because of last episode at the Mexican Grand Prix. If you guys did miss that, be sure to go check the one out before you see the rest of this one, as it was a slip-and slide Grand Prix. There's something about Mexico on this game. Even with maxed out cars, the grip levels were just non-existent. So we slid around and we made the most of the situation, really. But Teo Porcher went from strength to strength, winning a second race in a row. Myself and Tsunoda, especially Tsunoda, had a little bit of bad luck with a car issue in the middle of it, and he slowed down. So both of us basically just limited the damage to Porcher. But Porcher now has taken the lead back of the World Championship, and he's done it in the same way he got the lead at the start of the season. You know, it's all feeling a bit too familiar from the start of the year. 2 wins in a row now, and we know how strong Porcher was then for the next few races until he started to trip up a little bit at the Austrian Grand Prix. You can see with this overview of the entire season. But it's not just the fight between ourselves, you know, us three, Aston Martin and Lamborghini. There's some great fighting going on between other teams in the championship. Mainly you've got Ferrari trying to chase down Audi in the constructors, and maybe potentially Mercedes could catch Red Bull by the end of the season if there is a massive tide of results going in each direction. But obviously for us, we are focused on chasing after a very informed Porcher now, and hopefully just, you know, having one eye behind us on Tsunoda, who is now down to third in the championship. You've got to say that last engine upgrade that we made and purchased really came at a great time. The car is performing well. The unfortunate thing for me is it's performing very well for Porcher right now, so we need to try and maybe get a hold of him a little bit and maybe get one back at him at this race, which I'm confident at, because we usually go very well at Jeddah. I love this circuit. You know, it had to grow on me when it first came into Formula 1, but now on the F1 game at least, I absolutely love it. It is always action-packed, wall-to-wall with the slipstreaming, so it's a good opportunity for us. But at the moment on Saturday, just a little bit of a hiccup there with electrical system fault in Q2. No matter, we will be able to go out in good time and try and wrangle the neck of our golden ball here around Jeddah to try and set the timesheets alight to get into the top 10. But things are close, so you just never know. But we're hopefully going to get through on this lap, and I don't want to waste another set of tyres. I think we should be good to just go into the top 10 shootout like that. P6, it's not amazing. It would have been nice to get into Q3. You're right up there with Porcher. There is a bit of time to find clearly between myself and him, which again shows one of the circuits where I feel like I should be strong. Porcher is just up there, P1, and you know, we have to dig deep. You know, he genuinely, when he wants to be, is so bloody quick. Obviously, he has his moments where he makes mistakes. You know, we've seen those times where he's been knocked out in Q2 so many times, and definitely in traffic, he seems to struggle. But when he's on it, it's very tough to beat him. He'll just walk off into the sunset, really. The sun's already come down here in Jeddah, so hopefully that won't be an issue for us. But let's see what we can do. First lap on the board. I thought, okay, only 2/10 off Porcher, but then he goes even quicker. The man is an absolute machine. He has come right at the right time in the championship. He had those few races of not doing too well, but it doesn't matter now. He's leading the championship, and he's once again going for a pole position here. And wow, that's just such a horrendous last corner. It's red first sector, green. We were narrowly green. We weren't even going to gain that much. We were going to gain 1/10 at best. What? 9/10 off. 9/10. Oh my. We're cooked. We've been absolutely cooked by our teammate. This is unprecedented. I've never had a teammate that is whooping me this much. Porcher, it's another pole position for him. 9/10 ahead of us. He's nearly half a second clear of second place, the rest of us. mental. Tsunoda's up there in third place as well, which is not great news for me either. Both my rivals ahead of me. We've got work to do. Let's hope the number 7 slot is good luck for me with the number 7 on my car. Let's go to the grid.
We've got fast sweeping corners under the lights and 20 racers all ready to write their name into the quickly growing history of the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. So let's take a look at the topographical map of the Jeddah street circuit. As you can see, a number of challenging corners for the drivers to master here. We'll see just how much the teams have benefited from their time spent in practice this weekend. And like many street circuits, this track has the potential to punish drivers that get it wrong. Let's hope we avoid any safety cars today. So with the race not far away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Théo Pourchaire lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Tsunoda, Sainz, Norris, Russell, the owner driver, Verstappen, Liam Lawson, Leclerc, Albon, Gasly, Joe, Drugovich, Ocon, Oscar Piastri, Fittipaldi, Mick Schumacher, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Perez, and Logan Sargent. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me once again for coverage of today's race is none other than the great Anthony Davidson. The last few races have been a bit rough for them, unable to get a clean run. That's got to have some effect on their confidence, surely.
Certainly confidence is an important factor. And every time you're involved in an incident, it's not just the car you damage, but that confidence as well. But all the top racing drivers are able to tune that out when the race gets underway and focus on the job at hand.
The job at hand is pretty simple. From P7, we absolutely have to have a good start. We have to be going forwards and we have to be making overtakes. Tsunoda's P3, Pourchaire P1 on pole position. You know, we're second in the championship. We could, you know, and going into the final race with a sprint there as well. You know, there's big points available at Brazil, but that also equally means that it could swing in their favour at Brazil. So I need to try and set myself up in the best possible way today. But we're on the back foot. There's no denying it. We're on the back foot here off the back of Saturday. I don't know what went on there. Like I said, usually we go well around Jeddah, especially over one lap actually as well, to be honest. So this is a real shock to me, and we need to pull up our socks here as we get ready and go towards 5 red lights. The Saudi Arabian Grand Prix is upon us. It's the second last race. This is it. This sets up the finale today. It's lights out and away we go. It's a slow start for Pourchaire. It's a great one for Bottas. Lots of people a bit slow as we get caught up behind George Russell. Tsunoda down the inside to try and make the move on our teammate. Tsunoda might get up into second place. This is crucial for him and Aston Martin. This is maybe semi-okay news for me because it means Pourchaire is down to third in traffic. He may struggle a bit more now in this race compared to if he was out there in the lead. Thankfully for us, it's Valtteri Bottas. If he goes on to win, I would not mind at all. I'd actually be quite happy for him. But Pourchaire looking to already try and undo the overtake Tsunoda's made. Yuki's had a real good start there. That's great for him to get up into second place. Pourchaire losing 2 positions. Not the start that he wanted. For me, it was a bit of a messy one because we got caught up behind George Russell. Really didn't have too much room to work with, so we've had to settle for staying in P7. But can we get something done on either Carlos Sainz or Lando Norris as the two friends fight each other? Audi versus Red Bull Ford. Can we get down the inside of the Spaniard? Just going to nip it down, get the elbow out a little bit and get up into P6. We need to be militant with these overtakes. That was efficient. As soon as I got an opportunity, we made the move, and we're going to have to try and do it again on Lando Norris in the Red Bull Ford as we gain and gain. No DRS available just yet, but we've got the engine power, of course. Was looking to try and cut across onto the racing line, but the Red Bull is going to force me to go defensive to the inside line, but Lando cuts the curb, backs out of it, and is now under pressure from that gaggle of cars, led by Sainz, Leclerc, Lawson, Albon, very close together. Verstappen had a very quiet one, I must say, in qualifying, obviously getting knocked out. He's in P11 at the moment compared to his teammate Russell, who's doing very well in P4. And now we're watching Tsunoda as we go to the helicopter cam, so you have to really squint your eyes to see what's happening here as we're so zoomed out. But that's Tsunoda going right round the outside. What a fantastic, fantastic overtake from the man from Japan. What a move. That is not an easy overtake on the outside there through that corner, let me tell you. But it looks like Bottas might be coming back at him. Pourchaire might even be involved as we absolutely torpedo it down the inside to get the move on Russell, because I saw the action up ahead. I knew Pourchaire was going to get involved, and we need to absolutely catch up to this train now, because this will soon be Pourchaire versus Tsunoda for P1. I have no doubt about it. That Mercedes, he's had a good start, as we see Leclerc actually trying to get ahead of Carlos Sainz. So both Mercedes having some promising race pace, but I know at some point surely Bottas is going to fall away. It has been the pattern. It has been all about Tsunoda, Pourchaire and myself in most of these races. There's a reason why all three of us are so much further ahead in the championship. And now on to lap 5. Pourchaire is going for it. Tsunoda's overtaken Bottas then once more and actually kept P1. And Pourchaire now looking for P2. The Finn gives him a real good fight, to be fair. And the Mercedes actually held him up and he remains in 3rd place. But it's only a matter of time. But this is a better scenario than if Pourchaire was leading, because Tsunoda, he's behind us in the championship, so if he was to walk away with the P1, then, you know, we could probably work something out in Brazil, but at the moment, we're still very much not even thinking about that. I'm thinking we could still probably win this race, but at the moment, 3 abreast. Tsunoda, Bottas, Pourchaire, and Pourchaire's gone for the double overtake. No, Tsunoda comes back. They're still side by side, all 3 of them on the exit of that complex of corners. Unbelievable racing here in Jeddah. Bottas is slow, and we sense an opportunity, and we take it immediately. As we were a little bit cheeky there, we gave him a little bit of a love tap on the left-hand side as he was unsettled anyway on the curb, but we're through into P3, and now, what did I tell you? Pourchaire versus Tsunoda for the race lead, and we absolutely have to be there. But at the moment, momentarily, a little bit under pressure from the Mercedes car, so we still have to kind of dig deep to catch up to these guys. Looks like Pourchaire and Tsunoda at the moment have pace that I just can't match yet. We're just above 1 second behind, so we can reel them in. Lap 7, even though I've got Bottas breathing down my neck, we've now just tipped into under 1 second, so we have DRS ourselves on Tsunoda. Oh, Dragovic is in the wall, and that is surely going to be minimum a safety car. Could even be a red flag, you know. Maybe, no. Looks like it will just be a safety car. So that's going to open up an opportunity here to maybe pit. Surely that's the motive here. I reckon Pourchaire might pit as well. I've just made sure that I don't override a pit stop for him in case he did want to come in as well. Maybe the double stack is going to have to happen. No! He's not in. He's not in. I even opted to try and give him that lap to come in by saying I'm not coming in to my pit crew, basically lying to them on the heads-up display. But no, Pourchaire stayed out. Tsunoda stayed out. Bottas, Leclerc as well. So a couple of people. Verstappen, okay, interesting. I mean, it is early in the race. I mean, lap 8 is certainly, you know, at least 4 or 5 laps earlier than we would have been coming in. But also, we know the hard tyres go a long distance around Jeddah, so I just don't think there was any point not to come in. And oh my, Pourchaire's in now. Oh, he's made a howler. He's made a howler. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? This guy may be very, very quick, but our more junior, younger teammate has definitely still got some things to learn. That is a real howler of a strategy call to come in a lap later, because I'm P8, having made this pit stop, and Pourchaire is basically last, Fittipaldi behind him, but yeah, down in P20, that's a shocker for him. And Tsunoda as well is going to get caught out in this, because he's leading, yeah, sure, but he's going to have to come in along with everyone ahead of me. You know, P1 to P7, they're all yet to come in. I'm effectively going to be the race leader, and a bunch of them are coming in straight away. Including Tsunoda. What are my rivals doing? This is a huge gimme for me. Bottas leads the way from Lawson. We're up to 3rd place. It's going to be me versus Russell and Sainz for the top 3 at this rate, because Lawson and Bottas will come in eventually. We're going to try and obviously get on with it and make a move on Lawson anyway before that happens, because who knows when they're going to come in, because technically, you know, the pit stop was around lap 12 for medium, so they could stay out, and Lawson is a bit slow through sector 1 already. Maybe you're seeing that difference in tyre wear, hard to medium. We go around the outside. We're going to have to play this clever, because now it's a bit different. Now I feel pretty comfortable, so let's not do anything too rash, but we've made a good move on Lawson there. But now is the time to play it more cautious. We don't need to risk it maybe as much as we had to in the first stint pre the pit stop, because now we're in a good position. We're P2. Poor chair is where? P14. This is Tsunoda P17. He's being attacked by Lando Norris, and the Red Bull Ford is going to overtake Tsunoda, add more misery to his life right now as he maybe goes down to P18. And I can tell you actually why this maybe is. I've been told on the radio, he's got a car issue. So not only has he made a mistake on the pit stop, he's got a car issue slowing him down as we have to move from left to right to try and make the move on this Silver Arrow. Bottas really stern with his defense on the left-hand side. That's fair enough. We go to the outside. We'll go the long way round. We have the traction. We have the grip to get up into P1 for the first time in this Grand Prix. But to my surprise, Bottas immediately comes back at this, outbrakes us. We're going to have to try and play around a little bit here with a switchback from left to right. That was a textbook one, really, as we get a great launch and get back into P1. But that Merc, even with tyre wear, looks pretty damn slippery. Is on lap 12, the next lap in the same section that we were fighting in before in Sector 3. He's on the outside. The Audi is on the inside there. It was 3 wide. And yeah, it's Carlos Sainz now that is coming through. And Sainz definitely has the tyres to fight me, because he's on the hards as well as me. We've both made a pit stop. Bottas hasn't. And look at that! An Aston Martin. It's the wrong one though. Zhou Guanyu's come through as we lock the rear. The pressure gets to us at turn 1 and we make a mistake. That has been uncharacteristic of today. We've done everything right so far in today's race, but that was a bit of a mistake from me, as we were a bit too busy watching where Zhou Guanyu was, because I was kind of worried he was going to make a move around the outside. In the end of it, he stuck behind me and let me make my own mistake, basically, by locking the rear. Getting on the brake pedal a bit too hard, so we're down to it was 4. We've overtaken Bottas again in Sector 2 before we get to Sector 3 to get up into P3, and there's fighting going on between Zhou Guanyu and Carlos Sainz. But now here comes Pierre Gasly, who's entered the ring, our old nemesis, our old teammate from the last season, and we all remember how Silverstone ended up with myself and Gasly were fighting each other too much, and this is nervous times for me right now in P3. I want to chase after Zhou Guanyu and Sainz, but the Audis clearly have a lot of race pace here at Jeddah, and I've got Gasly breathing down my neck, and we are just losing time here. And you know, this is the annoying thing slightly by Jeddah. Yes, you get some great racing with a slipstream, but you can also lose a heck of a lot of time just for simply trying to defend a position, as Gasly now gets to the inside. He's making a nuisance of himself, as we're now going to be in a drag race down the main straight. Ahead of us there's a drag race, because you may be noticing Sainz and Zhou Guanyu are just swapping left, right, just like with Gasly, who makes a late lunge down the inside. The Frenchman almost maybe make some contact with us, and that's what I'm on about. That's why I was nervous, because this guy, he does not care. He does not care. He's not in a title fight, and clearly there is still some very bad blood between myself and Pierre Gasly from when we were teammates, as we go for the re-overtake to get back into P3. He's going to dive it down the inside. Oh, he's made contact with us. Of course he has. Of course he has. Gasly shoves us off on the runoff area, and we're down to P6. Okay, poor chair Tsunoda. How much did you pay him? How much did you pay him to be there and do that? Because that was absurd. Right, we're off on the runoff. feeling like Lewis Hamilton at the moment. Everything's just against us. We have to fight back through every single obstacle as the VSE comes out then, and that gives us a chance to just cool off a little bit and see the order. So Zhou Guanyu, the wrong Aston Martin, is leading the race in terms of from Tsunoda's perspective. Then you've got the two Audis looking very strong. Russell, P4. Mick Schumacher, of all people. He's come out of nowhere, hasn't he? In the Williams, P5. Myself, P6. Pourchaire now is right behind me in P7. But you think I'm having a bad day of losing those positions. Tsunoda, poor one out for him. I think his car's a little bit better now, but it doesn't matter. He's way down in P17. This is the opposite of what the Japanese driver needed today. And he's watching his teammate lead the race. That must hurt. That must hurt. He should be in that position in terms of the championship fight, but it's just the way the cookies crumble today. But look at this. Just ridiculous. Gasly, I know he's got every right to dive down the inside, but at least keep it on the racing. Like, he's literally driven into the wall, ping-ponged off the wall into me. Like, if he had just kept it on the road and didn't hit the wall, that wouldn't have been an issue. I was leaving him room on the inside because I knew he was still there. But him ricocheting off the wall, we had no say in that. We had no chance of avoiding that. And so, lo and behold, we've lost 3 positions. But we know we've got a good car. We've not got damage, so we've just got to keep our head down. Even getting P3 today now, because it looks like Zhou Guanyu and Sainz have bolted off. Even getting P3 with Pourchaire behind here in P7, that would be good for us. It's so... Schumacher does us a solid there. He's squeezed out Gasly and we just nipped through. Wasn't really even expecting the move, to be honest, but we're up into P5 now. Schumacher a little bit vulnerable without DRS off the back of Russell as we go down the inside, and this is how you overtake down the inside, Gasly. That's how you do it. You see, didn't push Schumacher off. Yes, he's a bit slow, but, you know, that's his own fault. But no contact made with the wall, no contact made with Schumacher, just a little aggressive elbow out, but no harm done, and he can carry on without having been on the runoff area. But anyway, I digress. Schumacher and Gasly now at it, and Pourchaire is tucked up behind. Could he make a double overtake? I'm a bit worried about this. Pourchaire really gunning for it, and he's going for the double move on Mick Schumacher, on Pierre Gasly, and he might just do it, you know. He has. What an overtake from Pourchaire. It's a crucial one for him to limit the damage to myself. 1 position higher in P4, but lap 19, we're closing to Russell, and look at the radio. Pourchaire has got a mechanical problem. Both my rivals have had a mechanical problem in this race. Tsunoda earlier in the race, and now Pourchaire, who's falling away. And on the next lap, lap 21, we're looking to try and get up into 3rd place, knowing that Pourchaire actually is 3 seconds behind, and actually may well get re-overtaken by some other cars he just overtook, as we make a lovely dummy move on Russell there. Really set him up in that corner. Little snap of oversteer as the tyre wear does kick in. So we need to be wary of that, but that was a good move on Russell there, just sending him a bit deep into the corner and then switching it. But look at this, Mick Schumacher, take a bow. Good overtake for him around the outside, P5, and Pourchaire now is 3 positions back from us, P3 to P6. This is a much better scenario for us in the championship order, obviously with the context of Tsunoda still being down in P16, so he's not scoring anything, and Pourchaire is scoring 2 less points than he would have been in that P5 position. But Schumacher is looking very rapid as he's closing up to me and Russell. Russell's looking pretty quick, to be honest. The fight's not done. That Ferrari is very good with the DRS. We're using all the battery, but look, he's still pulling pretty much ahead of us before the brake zone, so we're having to really squabble for him at the entry and exit of the corner. Can we get the drive? We've now got DRS on the Ferrari, which is good for us, but behind, Schumacher is also there in the background. Pourchaire's sticking with him, so, you know, 2 laps left. Maybe Pourchaire's problem solves itself and he can have a last-minute ditch effort. No, doesn't look like it, though. Lap 23, he's now 1 second back. He's nowhere near Schumacher. Schumacher, though, is very much near me and Russell, as once again Russell goes for that outside move. This time we're able to outbrake him to the inside and try and defend that, but Russell tucks in for the slipstream. Schumacher as well, and now, annoyingly, we're a sitting duck. stuck. We've got no DRS, and Russell is on the left. Schumacher on the right, and now, oh, that's a precarious position. I backed out of that. I saw the writing on the wall. If I kept my racing line there, Schumacher would have crunched us. But instead, we just pulled off a switchback of dreams from the left to right. See, patience is a big one here. That was good from us. We could have stuck our nose in and had a problem. Instead, we backed out of it early, got the tighter line, got the double overtake to retake them both as we watch Zhou Guanyu fighting Sainz on the last lap of the Grand Prix. Zhou Guanyu's having a blinder. He might be on for a race win here as we've got a little bit of a tail wagging situation as our tyres are going off. Remember, we are the person that pit the earliest onto these hards, so we are facing the biggest amount of tyre wear on this hard compound. But this is amazing for Zhou Guanyu as he's on the back of Carlos Sainz. He's moving about in the brake zone, trying to maybe scare the Spaniard. But whilst we're watching this great battle for P1, you can't help but think this really is the wrong Aston Martin. Tsunoda, what has gone on today? Shocking strategy under the safety car. Down in P16. He had a car issue anyway, so even if he maybe had an okay pit strategy, maybe he would have fallen away, but his teammate is looking to make the move. Oh no, he's backed out of it. He's backed out of it. Zhou Guanyu, I thought for a second there he was going to finish off that move, but no, he was just a bit too afraid. Maybe that's the lack of experience, because Sainz now is well on his way to getting that P1 for Audi as Mick Schumacher, having overtaken Russell, the man who literally took his seat at Ferrari. He's overtaken him. He tried to get us, but we've held him off, and we're going to get P3. That is going to be massive for us going into Brazil. Tsunoda scoring 0 points. Porsche down in P6. That was a huge race for us to give us just a bit of a lead, a bit of a comfort to work with into the final race.
Tell me, Ant, how do they manage to achieve this win?
Well, they certainly stood out as a drive with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a whole season, it really looks like it is going to be, for the first time in this series, me versus my teammate directly for this World Championship. We have actually won the Constructors already, which is great news for AAR Lamborghini, but the Drivers' Championship is to be decided still. Guys, if you have enjoyed this one, hit the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I'll catch you guys next time for the finale at Brazil.